Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Horsepower Obsessed. I hope you're all having a fantastic Memorial Day weekend. And to make it a little bit better, I thought I would put out a new video talking about some of the new interesting things I've come across for the C8 mid-engine Corvette. So let's just get right into it. Alright guys, so there's been a couple new developments that have happened over the last couple days, and I thought I would share them with all you guys. So number one, GM recently unveiled a new digital platform for all of their cars. Now, you may be wondering, well, what exactly is that? And of course, everybody's wondering that because they don't give a whole lot of information, but ultimately what it comes down to is they have a new, better way of handling all of the information that the car has to offer. Now, if you remember, back not too long ago, the C8 was actually delayed because of an electrical issue, or so the rumors suggested that. Odds are very good it had to do with this exact digital platform that GM was trying to perfect. Now, what the digital platform really kind of does is, like I said, it controls all of the electronics in the car, but because this is a new platform, it is going to do it in a more efficient way. Now, right off the bat, whenever I hear something like this, digital platform, I'm immediately assuming that this is going to help control some sort of hybrid technology. We've heard the rumors in the past that one of the C8s is going to have some sort of hybrid functionality, so this would very likely be part of the reason this new platform is being introduced. Apparently, this particular platform is going to be in a lot of GM's future cars, starting with the Cadillac CT5, and ultimately it's going to end up in the C8 Corvette at some point. It's apparently being praised as a huge step forward in the way GM vehicles will be wired. GM's director of electronic architecture says, quote unquote, "It's the vehicle's brain and nervous system, and it's 5 times more capable than today's system." Jumping right from that to the next thing that's kind of related would be the headlights that the C8 Corvette's going to have. It was just reported by GMauthority.com that the 2020 C8 Corvette headlights will in fact be 100% LED in operation. The C7 Corvette was basically all LED as well, but the bulbs for the actual headlights were HIDs. So in the C7 Corvette, we had LED turn signals, LED running lights, but the actual bulb was the high intensity discharge bulb instead of an LED. Now, it's being reported the 2020 is going to have an actual LED headlight bulb as well. And what that ultimately boils down to for the Corvette is the fact, again, because of that new digital vehicle platform, the LED headlights pull a much lower current than HIDs or even typical halogens would. So the LEDs will draw much less current from the car, thus leaving more power on the table for other things, such as hybrid technology, active aero, stuff like that. So while it doesn't really matter a huge amount that the car is going to have LED headlights versus HIDs, it does factor into a lot of the other behind the scenes work. Obviously with the LED bulbs, they also can achieve slightly different colors. So GM Authority is reporting that the light is going to have a much bluer output than HIDs typically are more of a white. Also, the LED lights tend to offer better lighting, a longer operating life, and of course, like I said, less energy consumption. It's kind of interesting. A lot of cars are doing this nowadays, going full LED for probably the same reasons that the Corvette's going to. Most manufacturers are still using HIDs just because they finally gotten to the point where they're pretty affordable. So it's definitely kind of cool to see this happening. Of course, as you guys all know, the electrical system in the cars in today's automotive industry controls a lot of different things. Ultimately, what it actually boils down to for GM is a possibility of better gas mileage, better control over the suspension technology, and even better in-car entertainment. So the in-dash navigation, the in-dash display, everything would be better suited with a more up-to-date digital platform. I'm actually going to play a little video for you here from GM that explains it in a little more detail, because this is a lot bigger of a deal than you'd think, especially if one of these Corvettes comes out and does have a hybrid system. And of course, no one likes that slow reaction to anything in the car when it comes to media or menu speeds. So this would be another thing that it would speed up. It has more processing power and just overall would deliver a much better experience on every level imaginable. Next, we actually have a full 3D video rendering from Chazcron of the C8 going around the track. It's filmed in a way that the car would have had like a GoPro or something stuck to it, but it's still really interesting to see. Some of the stuff that Chazcron has done is just amazing, and what he's been given to work with, it's incredible that he's been able to turn out products like he has, because we don't know what that car is going to look like underneath that camo wrap, but he has got it nailed down. So if that camo wrap is literally stuck to the actual body panels of the car, his renderings are exactly what that car is going to look like. So check out this video. Now, lastly, there was a sheet sent out to all the dealerships telling them what parts they were going to need in order to do maintenance on the C8 Corvette. I'm actually fairly impressed with this list because the cost isn't that high. And a lot of the big downfalls of a mid-engine car is how much it costs to maintain it. Now, on this list, one that sticks out to me most notably is the #1 item. It's a strut compressor adapter. That tells me this car is not going to have leaf springs, which is pretty interesting because pretty much every Corvette has had leaf springs. So this one looks like the first one. It's going to actually utilize some sort of coilover system or typical strut spring system. I got really excited whenever I saw the last item on this list. It was a flywheel holding tool, because typically you only need those with a manual transmission, but I looked into it and apparently a lot of the automatics need it too. So it was kind of a sad moment right after a really excited one, but it is what it is. So if you look at the bottom of the list, it's about $1,450 for all of these items on here. Every dealership that sells a C8 Corvette is going to have these items on hand, just because these are apparently what GM feels is going to be the most used tools for this car. Like I said, $1,450 isn't really that crazy for something like this. It's right around the norm for tools of this caliber. Though I don't necessarily think the maintenance costs on this car are going to be as astronomical as some people think. It's definitely pretty cool seeing lists like this coming out, because it just reaffirms the fact that this car is coming and it's coming soon, and the fact that GM is really trying to make sure that as soon as that car hits the market, it's ready to go. It's able to be serviced, it's obviously able to be purchased, you know, everything is just ready to go. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. It wasn't a huge update, but at the same time, the items talked about were pretty important to the car's overall performance and the idea of keeping costs down for maintenance. So if you liked what you saw, give me a big thumbs up. If you have any questions at all about what we discussed today, go ahead and shoot them down in the comment section below, or send me an email, horse.power.obsessed@gmail.com. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'd love to have you as part of the Horsepower Obsessed community. And as always, guys, I'll catch you in the next one.